Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Performance E-Streaming. We are here for Wednesday Night Thunder. It is series one of the season of 2023, and we're here at Martinsville. Yes, the paperclip is going to be bringing us lots of action here tonight for the 8th round of the championship. I am, as ever, Mr. Carl Wilkinson with you, and joining me up in here in the booth, I have a bit of an Xfinity master, Mr. Hamish Gallagher. Hamish, welcome to the booth, mate. Glad to have you up here.
Yeah, happy to be here, Carl. Hope you're having a good night.
Absolutely. Even better to see you up here in the booth. As much as I'd love to see you out on track, but it's nice to have you up here and watching along and then giving us a bit of insight out there.
Yeah, I just got quali underway here. This car's a bit of a dog on the first couple of laps. Like, just wants to lock the front tires, so you only really get one good shot to get a lap in. So can't make any mistakes. So we might see a few upsets perhaps at the top of the field tonight. The quali.
We'll see how that one pans out. At the moment, it's Dave Douglas sitting up there, and looks like Jason Martin there just pulling off, deciding to abandon that run. And so that's a little bit of a surprise for the 21, because usually Jason's pretty quick on these short tracks. So obviously something's gone a bit wrong there at the moment.
Yeah, for some reason when the tires are cold here, it just locks that left front and it just doesn't want to stop or turn. It's a bit of just watching Ryan. He's done the exact same thing as well on his quali lap, so that's put him way down the field at the moment. So saying you might see a few upsets here.
That'll be good to see. Just as we're heading into qualifying now, just quickly go through the championship standing, as it is Jason Martin in the lead, 12 points ahead of Josh Micklemore. Good run there for Mitch Motorsport. Unsurprisingly, Hamish, and you must be pretty happy seeing them up there.
Yep.
Darren McKenzie sits in third, 32 points off the lead. Fourth is Dave Douglas, 69 points down. He'll be happy with that number. Fifth is Joey Schultz, 80 points down. 84 points down in sixth. We have Brad Fenley and Matty Ray. Norman Clark, eighth, 87 down. And 90 points down is Joshua Carroll in ninth. 10th, here we have Ruben Phelps, 100 points off the lead. So, championship-wise, it's looking very good for Mitch to keep the title in the Mitch family, Hamish.
Yeah, I see Jace just went to the front there and he smashed him about over a tenth up at the moment, but he's very good in here at Martinsville, so he will definitely be strong if he starts up front.
Jason Martin, named after Martinsville, of course, or did they name Martinsville after him, I wonder?
Yeah, never thought about that one.
He is annoyingly good at this track, and you look at his times, you just go, how he is so quick sometimes. Phil Bissett having a good run up in P4 at the moment, as Stevie Dub just locks up those tyres, as you were talking about, Hamish, and goes around in the DPR entry.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised if he tried to put a whole bunch more rear brake in it to try and fight that left front locking on cold tyres, and he just touched the brake and things just looped on him.
Yeah, it looked like there was a big heap of rear bias in that thing, because it just went spinning around very quickly. The 619, Michael Campbell at the moment, P16, just sitting fairly comfortably in the qualifying orders at the moment. Not much between the times until you get up towards the front. Jason Martin at the moment, full 10th ahead of Dave Douglas. That was a monster lap.
Matty Ray has not put a time in, unsurprisingly. So he's had a bit of a rough time in the last couple of weeks, getting caught up in incident, which is not very usual for Matty Ray. So I thought maybe he'd give it a try tonight, but it seems that's not going to be the case.
Well, Matty Ray, he proved that he can qualify, getting pole position in the Cup the other night, a few weeks back. So when he does put his head to it, he can go very, very quick out there. But we are running out of time.
That was my moment of the year, I think, so far. Matty Ray getting that P1 bolt. But it looks like he's spread to the rest of his teammates, because I see Lockie hasn't put a time in, or has Ruben's done a lap now though? By the looks of it, he might have gone out. I thought he hadn't. I know he still hasn't been a time either. So it looks like all these RM boys going to be starting off the back.
I think the only one that has set a time is Brenton Henderson in the 81. So just one of them deciding. And look, they're working very hard with each other, trying to improve everybody's races, and they have been doing a good job of that. So it's been interesting to see the SRM team working with each other out there. Just looking at temperatures and things like that, it is a chilly night out there. 18 degrees, partially cloudy. Track temperature is just where am I? It's just resetting, just 19 degrees. So it's a very cool track, and it is, of course, nighttime. So that's going to make it a little bit easier on those tyres. But we're about to grid it up. So let's run through the starting order for tonight's race. And it is Jason Martin taking pole position with Dave Douglas on the outside. Row number 2 sees Joshua Carroll-Walden and Jai Schultz on the third row. Phil Bissett having a great run up there with Josh Micklemore on his outside. Fourth row, we've got Luke Traher and Barry Neal. Watch out for Barry Neal. He can be very quick on these short tracks. Fifth row, sees Stevie Dubb next to Paul Drady. Sixth row, Darren McKenzie and Brenton Henderson. Seventh row, we see Ryan Jones and Mirko Dornak. I'm sure there's going to be some fireworks on that row. Row number 8 sees Closey and Smith lining up next to each other. Michael Campbell and Tristan Koch make up row 9. 10th row sees Luke Crum next to Norman Clark. 11th row, we've got Kai Turner and Brad Fenley. And then we hit our did not qualify. That's Ruben Phelps, Aidan Schultz, Matty Ray, Lachlan Urquio, Adam Malone, Kobe Jordan, Christopher Tomlin, Luke Georgeson, and Brett Campbell. And Brett Campbell's coming in with a bit of momentum tonight after a fantastic run in the trucks last night. And he's starting from a similar spot as he did last night, and he's going to hope he can get a repeat performance.
Exactly. Started dead last on Monday, got the win. He's going to start dead last year. Let's see how it goes for him. But couple of things probably want to look at. You see that second row, you got JC Dubb and Jai Schultz, two very aggressive drivers. They're going to be pushing hard. You're going to have to keep an eye on them, I think, early on. Track position obviously so important here at Martinsville. I expect you're going to get a bunch of cautions. You'll get a bunch of short runs. So pretty sure Jason's won an ANZCAR race here at Martinsville. We never pitted and just led every single lap. So I think he might be the what he'll be trying to do again tonight.
Yeah, I was speaking to a couple of drivers, and it doesn't look like fuel is going to be an issue tonight, and tyres probably not either. So keeping it out, keeping that track position, it could be absolute key. But of course, sometimes just having a little bit of. Well, it looks like Jai Schultz has not made the grid, so it looks like Jai's decided to start from pit lane instead of on that row, unfortunately. So that's taken a little bit of the fireworks out of row number 2. But we are sure to see some exciting stuff. But yeah, drivers expecting to pretty much go the full race without visiting pit lane.
Yeah, if you get a decent run, maybe 40, 50 laps, I think you'll see a bunch of people come pit. We had to do that in the trucks, same thing, even though we had a bunch of cautions. You got one good run and it sort of drags everyone down. So you can definitely make time on fresh tyres. It's just, you know, a good, decent sized field here. It's always a huge risk throwing yourself back into the pack here because one of the best things about Martinsville is you're going to get a lot of body contact tonight, get some people fired up. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I believe in the trucks. About the only person who got fired up, I think, was certain Carl Withy. I do recall you getting up on the radio, giving us a few character references. So I'm hoping to hear a bit more of that tonight.
Yeah, mildly annoyed about that one, but those things happen when we're racing. It's all forgotten about now, though. I'm living the woes of last Monday night, so yeah. We're about to go green flag racing. Pace car pulling in. The 21 of Jason Martin's going to be leading away the 10. They are absolute side by side. We come around to take the green flag. I'm going to shut up. Let's listen to these cars roar away for round number 8 of the Thunder Series here at Martinsville. In a blink of an eye like that, we are one lap down here, and it looks like everybody's made it through without contact. We've got a first lap, and it's been green.
Yeah, well done to everyone. So it was very hard to drive this car on cold tyres, so I'm surprised someone didn't just send it in and wipe someone out, you know, Temp and Boland style. But everyone's got it pretty settled down at the front here, getting single file, just trying to keep everything clean. You've got a long race, you don't want to damage the car in the first couple of laps.
Absolutely, and there's very, very hard to win a race on the first lap, and it's very easy to throw it all away, and nobody's done that at the moment. They're having a good run. Just looking at movers at the moment, and Aidan Schultz having a bit of a run up, 5 positions so far, just a bit further down in P19, and Jai Schultz working his way from the back as well. So a few people just moving their way through the field and just getting those moves done nice and early. As somebody got very wide coming through turns 1 and 2 there.
Yeah, 75 of Wesley Closeley, he's sort of got himself trapped on the outside there, and he's kind of getting a run over a little bit. People got put in the fence there, I think, that last lap. But he's got a bit of a gap there. If he can get just down behind Kai Turner there and maybe get himself sorted.
It's one of the oddities of this track, of course, because you've got the two different surfaces on the track. You've got the nice asphalt coming on the straight, and then into the corners you've got the concrete. A little bit of contact between Kai Turner and Campbell there. Just a little swipe. Look, that's what we love to see, though, at Martinsville.
That's what we want with someone's a bit of beating and banging, just as long as we don't see any too big wrecks. But yeah, this is a contact sport here at Martinsville, so boys should get into it.
That's it. And one of the things you might see is the old bump and run tactic, just giving the car in front just a little bit of a nudge, just to throw them off balance a little bit on the entry or the exit of the corner. Just gives you that little bit of an extra run sometimes. But the object is just to unsettle the car, not to turn it. So tricky thing to get right sometimes.
Yeah, well, Alf's doing a good start here. He might have to start sort of keep thinking about tyre wear at the moment to get some nice runs. We got Jason's pulled out predictably at the front. But Double D and JC, he's got JC Double all over him. He's very aggressively trying to get to his back bumper. And then it's a bit behind there. Brahere's sent it there on Phil. He's got past. There was a bit of a check up there behind him.
And it looks like Stevie Dubb's looking at doing a similar thing there as well. Nice little pass by Traher on Bissett there. Just caught him just sort of unaware in the corner. Didn't expect to see Luke just diving so late on the brakes. He did a beautiful pass down the inside and just got out that position. Watch out for Mackenzie as well. Darren's going to be looking for a good run here tonight, hopefully building on championship points so he can get a fairly good position. We have got a car in pit lane, and it is the 93 of Thorntonac.
Yep, big surprise. Mate, a whole 9 laps there for Mirko. He's like, I don't want to get the double digits. I'm going to park it here. But doing his usual thing, I guess.
Mirko just catching the apron off turn 4, and that's why he's come down pit lane. He took a big hefty whack into the wall, and that left front is looking very second hand as we see Campbell making a good run there on, is that Aiden Schultz? No, that was a completely different car, sorry. Too many orange cars out there, just threw me off for a second.
That's Brian Jones way back there. We saw him have a bit of a bad run in quali. And he's still buried down the field there. He started 13th and he's currently 12th. So it's a bit of a quiet start for Ryan. Not really what I'm expecting. But he's playing the long game perhaps tonight.
I've just gone back to have a little look what happened, and a nice little cheeky move by Brenton Henderson in the 81. Good to see Henderson back. He was feeling a bit unwell prior to this and was out for a few weeks. He just did exactly what we were talking about before, a little bump and run on Ryan Jones, which is something you've really got to be careful of, because Ryan will remember that and he'll pop that away in his memory bank, and later in the race he will be back for attacking that one.
Well, he does have a bit of damage on his right front, and that came from Brenton on just the third lap there. They got together. Ryan hit the curb and sort of ran up into Brenton, so it wasn't nothing Brenton's fault. But yeah, he managed to get his payback there on Ryan on that nice little pass.
You just see there the golden octopus of Brett Campbell. He has fallen down a lap, unfortunately, just taking a bit of a hit in turn number 2. Just going up a bit wide, got onto the asphalt and ran wide in the Golden Octopus Foundation sponsored car, of course, and doing great things to help families with childhood, help families out who are going through childhood cancer and keeping them supported. We've got a good race going on here. Phil Bissett and Darren Mackenzie side by side, and Mackenzie gets past as the caution flag flies.
JC Dub around. JC Dub.
And it looks like he's just gone around on his own. He's done an old Carl Withy moment. Bringing out the first caution of the race about the same time I did in the trucks as well. So.
Yeah, just like I said, I reckon a bunch of boys have probably wound a whole bunch of rear brakes. Even the stock rear brake is like 60%, so it's quite low. The setup is quite tight, and people are trying to fight that by putting a bunch of rear brake in. It's okay when the cars are cold, but yeah, once they get a bit of heat into them, we might see a few more people just lock up the rears like that on corner entry.
And it's an easy mistake to make, but you feel very daft when it happens. The 35 there just goes round, and that is going to be a painful little moment for Joshua Carroll-Walden, and that could throw him down a lot of positions. And it looks like he stayed on the lead lap, though. That's the important part.
Yeah, interesting to see if he comes gets 4 tyres here. I think he's buried back there. If I was him, I'd probably just come back, get four freshies and see what you can do with them.
Yeah, sometimes it can be good being sort of on the counter strategy and just seeing what you can work out, especially if you're on the lead lap. But with this caution coming out, it does mean Brett Campbell will come back and get the lead lap back for his car. So we've got 30 cars on the lead lap. It looks like we may have lost Mirko Dornack from the race in the 93.
You've got a whole bunch of cars that have come down pit road now. They might just be taking fuel. No, so I see, looks like Lockie, he's taking tyres. So if you're down the back there, you might as well come put fresh tyres on and see if you can drive through this field.
Absolutely.
Just got to be careful. If you are at the back of the field, you can very easily lose a lap just because of how short the track is and how slow pit lane is. So you got to get a move on if you pit when you're got 20 cars ahead of you.
Well, it's very, very close at the moment for Christopher Tomlin. Will he get to pit exit with the green light showing, or will he get stuck in pit lane? It looks like he's just made it out, so he just snuck it through and got through there for Tomlin. But it was uncomfortably close, that pace car for him.
And when you've got a damaged car and you come down every caution, try and get the damage fixed. It's always a bit stressful. Try not to lose a lap. It's a very easy thing to do.
Pace car out. Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, now we've got the 2 Mitch cars going to be lined up on the inside, so that's pretty formidable for them. They'll obviously be working together to get this restart, so Dave might get hung out a bit. He's going to be fighting probably Barry Neal behind him. He does have a bit of a friend in there in Trahir, not too far behind. He's had a good run up the field, started 7th, and he's moved up a couple of spots.
So I think we're in for a bit of a treat here with Douglas and Neil on the outside. We'll see how they work it out, because those two, they're not known for being shy and easing off and not putting up a fight.
Nope, neither of them. Barry gets the bit between his teeth. He doesn't want to get pushed around. But here we go. We come to the green flag.
Come around turns number 3 and 4 into the restart zone. They will be coming. And away goes Jason Martin, gets a nice launch there. It looks like Micklemore's got a good run on Douglas as well. Barry Neal drops down to the inside line very, very quickly there, leaving himself in a good position. Stevie Dubb held up a little bit high. He's got Luke Trahair to his inside. Dave Douglas still trying to make a move, but can't quite make it work. Looks like he's trying to slot in. Contact! And Stevie Dubb goes around.
Yeah, a bit of an awkward restart there. Barry cut Trahair off on turn 1. And Trahair had to get back out of it, and then we had more incidents down there in the turn 3.
So that's caused some damage for a few cars as well, as people data funded their way through that incident. But luckily, I think most of them got through okay. Other than, it may have been Luke Georgeson that got caught with that one.
Yeah, you can see Trahair's big send, but there's lots of room down there. Like Stevie Dubb gave him the room, and then he sort of come down right on the corner exit. Trahair sort of pushed up for those cold tyres, and there's definitely a bit of net code in there as well. So just a bit of an awkward restart. You're going to see a few of them probably tonight. It's just normal Martinsville stuff. They say these cars are very hard to drive. They do not want to brake, do not want to turn on cold tyres. So that's why I was quite surprised when we had that initial, there's a big hit there, unfortunately, for Wesley. But yeah, you're going to see probably a few more of these tonight.
So there's a bit of a check-up behind, and Lachlan Cleo was involved in that one, as well as Luke Crum, Adam Malone, and it was Wesley Closey that took a big whack on the front. So quite a few cars with the front end damage, and that can be tricky sometimes, as it can cause the heating just to go a little bit awry on these cars.
Yep, just one little hit to the front, and 50 laps later it'll blow up. You just don't know. So never ideal, but I mean, if there's a track you're going to get a little bit of damage, Martinsville's the one. So you can still be competitive. It's really all just about how you drive it and how you race everyone else. You can still be competitive for a little bit of damage. You're already seeing quite a few of these cars up front do have damage. Like Trahair's got a bit on the rear already from other incidents. We've already said Ryan, who's quietly making his way up the field now with these little mistakes from other drivers, sneaking his way up there in the top 10 now. So we definitely have to keep an eye on Ryan.
Matty Ray coming in pit lane. He's decided he's going to drop down and getting from about P18, Matty Ray. in the 83, so trying something a little bit different for himself. And interested to see how this one plays out for him. Stevie Dubb coming in for some repairs, as well as Luke Crum, Lachlan Oakley. I imagine he's going to get a few touch-ups of the repairs done too.
Yeah, because Lockie took tyres in that last caution, so I assume he's not going to take tyres again there. He must have a little bit of damage. But yeah, Matty Ray there definitely took tyres, so keep an eye on him. You see if he can come through the field and get a few laps under green here. But say Stevie Dubb's in the pit lane there, he'll be getting damage fixed. And you're down the back there, he'll probably be taking tyres as well. But quite a lot of damage now. See, like Ruben Phelps is missing his rear clip. So's Mark Smith. So already, it's only been a couple of small cautions, but we've already got plenty of damage out there. It's going to be a long race for some of these lads.
Is indeed, and I imagine Phelps is going to be hoping to see a caution again relatively soon, as he's fallen a lap down here in the 0-6. So yeah, a few walking wounded this early in the race, and the other thing as well, you've just got to be careful of those incident points too, and we'll talk a bit about that in a moment. But we're about to restart now. It's the 21 again of Jason Martin. We know he's very good on these restarts, but we have Dave Douglas on his rear with Josh Micklemore on his outside, and drops the loud pedal, gets away nicely again for Martin. Dave Douglas looking like he's going to make a bit of a run on Josh Micklemore this time. As
Jonesy pretty wide here. Jonesy takes it free wide. It's not going to work for him. He's going to get caught up now. He's a bit of a log jam. But yeah, if someone's going to take it free wide, Ryan's going to be the one at Martinsville. But he's going to slot in there. No, he's still going to hang on the outside. He reckons he can he'll fill. Oh, big send with Darren McKenzie on Luke here just ahead of him as well.
Big move there, and Ryan Jones really holding it out there. Always fun to watch Ryan drive. He brings us some good entertainment, but he's getting a nice run now. He's sort of getting beside Phil and moving his way up nicely. A little bit of a check up behind, but they're all running smoothly at the moment. We're on lap 30 of 135, and hopefully we're going to be seeing this green flag for a nice bit of time now.
Yeah, you can definitely make that outside work. You have to get quite aggressive at pinching the guy down. Ryan's giving him plenty of room here, but he's going to probably run out of patience, I'd say, in a few more laps. So like Phil's sort of coming off that bottom there. He's diamonding the corner. But Ryan's slowly inching his way up there, but he'll be seeing his teammate here sort of driving off in the distance. Quite a bit of a gap there in front of him, so he'll want to get this move done ASAP. Whereas we got a caution on the track.
Caution is out. And just...
Ooh. We got Luke Georgeson around exit 2.
Let's have a little bit of a look-see at that one, see what happened to the Area 51 car. As I think a little tiny bit of contact between himself and Storm and Norman Clark there in the 0-9, and that turns the 274 around.
Norman Clark living up to his name, eh? Storman, he's not messing around. He's going to stick that nose in there, and if you come down on him, then it's your fault. So probably, I'd say that's fair game there for Norm. Just Luke just sort of pinched him a little bit more. Maybe he didn't know he was there, but hey, that's Martinsville. We're going to see some contact. That's all good. Luke will live to the fight another day.
That's it. And Luke almost caught it, but then it did a big old tank slapper on him and sent him around the other direction. And look, it's as is racing on the short track. But the good news is for one driver, Ruben Phelps, he's going to be able to get his lap back now in the SRM 06. So some good news out there, but there are a lot of heavily damaged cars out there now. I was just looking at Adam Malone. He is missing, well, I think he's missing pretty much most of the panels on the front of that car. And the rear ones are not looking too good either.
He's the first car in the modified division. We're focusing quite a bit there on Ryan Jones, and that's paid off for him. He's managed to, with that caution coming out, he's put him ahead of Phil, and he's starting inside. So trying to fight for that position has definitely paid off for Ryan.
That's it, and it's the dimples from the golf ball style thing that's paying off for Ryan Jones there. It's creating better aerodynamics, making that car go faster. So the dimpled aerodynamics of the golf ball style Ryan Jones car paying off tonight. I was just talking before that restart though, Hamish. Instant points, they are a big thing on a short track like this, of course, and it's very easy to get a drive through.
Tell me about it, eh? Like, I think every cup race in ANZCAR I've done here, I've had a black flag for incident points, and it doesn't take much. You just get someone give you a little tap up the back, you get loose. iRacing gives you a 4X, and you only need a couple of them and then a couple of little contact. And yeah, you're going to get a black flag, and that's going to lose you at least 2 laps.
And that's it. And I was just looking at some of the instant points out there, and Norman Clark, he's getting very, very close to the instant points. He's on 8 at the moment. But Luke Crum on 10 incident points. He is, he's in pit lane. Looks like his night might be over because that car is pretty badly damaged on the front. So he might not show his instant points, but I think his night might be done.
He might be the one who just blew up, because I did hear someone blew up while we've been rolling around under caution. So possibly it's him, but there's a lot of cars been rolling down pit lane trying to get damage fixed. So this felt like a relatively tame start so far tonight, but clearly not, because they've got a lot of cars with damage. So they're about to come take another restart.
Oh, Dave just doing a little bit of a Blinker Bill impression there. Hopefully his connectivity will sort itself out. And good ears, Hamish. I think it was Luke Crum that had the engine go pop. So, yeah, not a fun thing to have happen is the engine going poppity pop. But they are about to come around to take the green flag once more. It's the 21 Jason Martin on the inside, Dave Douglas on the outside, Josh Micklemore behind with Barry Neal. And we're about to go green once again here at Martinsville. As the green flag drops, a lot of side-by-side racing in the pack. Henderson having a good run. And look, Atreya trying to get that run as well. But Henderson on the inside, keeping the car of Phil Bissett on his outside at the moment. And a couple of those Lucas Oil cars up in the front of the pack tonight. They're going to be very happy about that. Paul Drake, the team boss, as well up there too. As gets very tight on the exit there, and that's going to give the opportunity for Campbell as Phil Bissett just tumbles down the leaderboard here. Got held up on the outside, and it can change from a top sort of 15 spot way and drop you way down the order quite quickly when that happens. As the caution flag is back out.
I'm not sure what happened.
So I'm having a little bit of a look-see, and Matt might be able to pick that one up with...
Might be lucky.
Possibly lucky, yeah.
No, caution's already out.
Hang on. I think it might have been one of the Lucas Oil cars. His car spun down on then freeze there. Oh, sorry, it's Mark Smith, 007.
There we go. A very, very quick spin for Smith, and unfortunately, that's the automated system of iRacing bringing out the caution. Had a little bit of a moment though, going in very hot behind Georgeson. I think I might have just unsettled the car, and he's just gone round. And then Jai Schultz, I think it was, just had nowhere to go with that one.
Yep, classic Martinsville turn free there. Bunch accordingly effect. People just jump on the brakes. We're worried we're going to run into someone, and that's locked the rears. So there was definitely a bit of a checkup going on there. You're going to see a lot of checkups on these starts. He's sent it in there. There's a big checkup ahead with him with Matty Ray and Aiden Schultz. And yeah, that thing happened, but even looks like it's mostly survived. He already had a bit of damage on the rear anyway. He's missing his rear clip, so a little bit of a tap on the back there is not going to hurt him anymore.
No, that's it. And Luke Crum's back out there, so it looks like he's got that car back alive. He's revived it somehow. Been working with the Technomancers to get that car back to life, and he's managed to get one lap back. He's still 2 laps down off the lead, but look, I mean, it's Martinsville, and that can easily change.
Yeah, speaking of which, our winner from Monday night, Brett Camp, slowly sneaking his way up there. Started dead last, up to 17th now, knocking on the outside of a top 15. Got a little bit of damage on the right rear, but most people have a little bit of damage at this point. So, yeah, just keep an eye on Brett. He stealthily got that win on Monday. You never know what he could do tonight.
That's it. And it's that thing of confidence building, isn't it? Getting the victory underneath your belt, it really does. Gets the monkey off your shoulder for the first thing, but it gives you that bit of confidence for the future. And I'm sure that's going to help Brett just feel a bit more confident in the racing, which is always nice.
Yeah, these boys at the front, though, probably top 10-ish, top 15 are getting a little bit frustrated with all these cautions. And every caution probably breeds another caution. Everyone gets a little bit more tensed up. The red mist starts to descend. You think, well, I've got to make a move in this first lap or two because there's probably going to be another caution. So that just leads to more wrecks. So, you know, they're probably going to get Probably going to get more contact, a few more desperate dives. So, you can see how hard it is to pass, especially at the front. So you're going to see definitely a bit more aggressive racing, I imagine, at the front.
Absolutely, and well, we've got two drivers that are going to have to drive through pit lane once the green flag drops. That's Aidan Schultz and Luke Crum. They've both hit their instant limits, so they're going to have to serve a bit of a drive-through once we go back to green flag racing. And Crum getting his car in almost back to full health now. He's managed to get a front end on it as well, so they're doing a great job in the pit lane for that one. But pace car pulling in. Jason Martin just has to do it all again. We know he's good on the restarts. Will he nail it this time? Watch out for Douglas and Barry Neal. He's been very, very aggressive. And also, Darren McKenzie, he's been working his way up nicely, but it is Martin pulling away. Oh, he gets a big, big snap. Gets a lot of wheel spin. That's going to give Douglas the opportunity as well as his teammate Josh Bicklemore.
Well, is Joshy going to race him here? We saw Jason get big wheel spin at, Rockingham earlier in the year, and he lost the race because of him. But he looks like he's going to recover here, and he might be able to hold on to the top spot.
That's it, Jason. I think he had another motor as well, and just a lot of wheel spin, and had a big accident as well as
Norman's going to go around here. Oh no, Norm. It's got Adam Malone there as well. We have no caution though.
Oh, painful for Norman Clark as well, because he's gone around, and that not bringing out the caution flag means it's going to be right off the pace, as Adam Malone was involved in that one too. But we're still green flag racing as the caution flag does fly. Jason Martin, Jason Martin was just about to lose a position there as well, as when that caution flag came out.
Yeah, Josh managed to get up the inside of him there, so I had to go back and take a look at what happened there, but what brought the caution out?
Oh, we've got the curse of the commentator on Brett Campbell, unfortunately, in the 015, the Golden Octopus car, just getting loose on the exit of 2. Was it? Oh no, it was helped a little bit because Phil Bissett just got underneath the back of the 015 and has pitched that car around. So from the elations of victory on Monday night to a bit of a rough night in the office for Brett Campbell in the Golden Octopus car.
Well, it wouldn't be ANZCAR if we didn't have, literally say one good thing about someone and immediately then get wrecked.
It's always the way. Darren McKenzie in pit lane, so he's decided he's going to try something a bit different here, and get a damage on that car as well. So he's going to get a few repairs in as well.
It's good to see the commentator's curse has passed on to Hamish as well.
I know, it's great. He's learning quickly, isn't he? I mean, it took you at least 5 races, Matt, to get the commentator's curse. Hamish, bang, straight on it.
So now you got to pick a couple more, Hamish. Drivers are having a good night.
Well, definitely not. I was just about to talk about Jason. Maybe I shouldn't. But it was a very messy restart from a lot of people. I suspect there's quite a bit of wheel spin sort of kicking in at this point. A number of heat cycles have gone through on the tyres. But even Jason, after he sort of gathered things up, he then overshot. I think it was turn 1. That's how Josh was able to get back to his inside and was probably going to pass him if he didn't have that caution. So very messy restart from a lot of people. It's only going to get worse if no one comes and pits at the front. But if you're at the front at this point, I wouldn't want to pit because there's so many cars still on the lead lap, and it's really hard to pass people when you do 2 or 3 laps under green. There's another caution. There's a good chance you might be in the wreck that brings the caution out. So these top 5-ish, they're probably not going anywhere anytime soon. Especially old Ryan, he's stuck up another position. He got past her here. So the closer he gets to the front, the more likely he's going to start using that bumper to get people out of the way.
So, you're talking about the last restart for Jace. He had a really messy one. He got so lucky with that caution flag coming out because Micklemore just almost passed him. Jason Martin just going up on the high side got a bit of a tight run into the corner and gave Micklemore the opportunity to make the move. And the caution came out just in the right time for him. Just kept him in the lead of the race by a gnat's hair.
Mm-hmm. It shows how hard this car is to drive, especially on these older tyres now. We've done quite a few laps, 50-odd laps on these tyres, a lot of them under caution. But when you have these restarts, you're obviously using a lot of tyre under brakes and under acceleration, so it's burning through some of the tyre, getting that grip.
And the other thing is, it takes you out the rhythm as well. I always find when you get a lot of cautions, you just can't get into the rhythm of a track as easily, and often that leads to more cautions coming out, unfortunately.
Yep, well, we're doubling it up again, so I'm going to give it another shot. Ruben's going to pull out just in front again. He's still obviously trying to get that damage fixed. He must have had a pretty decent sized hit early in the race, so he's on the lead lap, but he's obviously still rolling for every caution, trying to get that damage fixed.
He needs to get the mobile braking mechanicals crew to actually work it on it out on the track, so be extra mobile.
Yeah, Matty Ray will not be happy seeing his car getting beat up. He knows he has to work on it.
We're about to go green. Martin in the restart zone. Will he get away better this time? He does indeed. That's a much nicer restart for him as we get into the race. Luke Trail looking to make a bit of a run on Barry Neal this time. As we go coming up, Barry Neal holding that inside line nicely. Dave Douglas gets a little bit loose off the corner. That's going to cost him that fight for P2 at the moment. Barry Neal gets turned by Jones.
Jones, there's a huge wreck. Here we go. This is the big one, boys. Trackers block, parking lot.
Oh, that's a big wreck. And, well, that's pretty much the whole field involved in that one. And that is a messy one indeed.
Yep, the chaos. Well, there we go. This is the commentator's curse. Didn't I just say Ryan was going to get in the back of someone?
You see, it's going so well for you now. The curse is coming up well. But Ryan Jones, he got into the back of Barry Neal, and then car went around afterwards, and he had some nose-to-nose contact, and that's going to be his car done for the race. Big save. Well, luckiest driver out there, I think, is going to be Brenton Henderson. He just absolutely snuck it through without too much damage.
Yeah, I saw a car disappear in the middle of it as well, so I'm not sure if someone might have got to their DQ limit and they're out of the race. Not sure if you can see that, Carl, but it was a black car that just disappeared in the middle of the wreck, so I'm wondering if someone...
Crumb, that would have been. He got sent to the shadow realm of naughty boys that have taken too many incident points, so hopefully he can find his way back to this plane of existence sometime in the near future, but that was a painful one, and it's also meant a lot of cars have got penalties as well. Ryan Jones, Adam Malone, Joshua Carroll-Walden, Mark Smith as well. All those drivers have now got to do a drive through, so that's going to be painful for them, and a few people getting very close to their incident point limit as well.
It's going to be chaos on this restart. Everyone trying to dive to pit road. wouldn't be surprised that brings another caution out. But it's a bit unlucky for the Tristan Koch. I was going to mention him. He was having a really good on that restart, but he obviously got caught up on that wreck, unfortunately. So that's put him a lap down. So a bit of a shame for that 550 car. But I say he's got a tail of woe. Does about half the field here after this one.
It's like Brad Fenley got relatively unscathed in that one. He got on the brakes nice and early and just kept himself out of trouble. And you can see just in front of him, that's Matty Ray. And look, this is how quickly it checks up. And Fenley just on the brakes and just squeezes by there by the narrowest of margins. And you can see down on the inside, there's a big traffic jam happening as well. And that's the other thing. When you get a big wreck like this, of course, it's hard to sort your way through it because sometimes you just get stuck behind a car that's dead in front of you.
Yep, it's actually quite well done there from Brad. He had cars on the inside and the outside, right in front of him, and he's pretty much able to maneuver around everybody. And then come to a stop there when he had a car in front. Couldn't we go? So yeah, good driving there from Brad.
That's it. And,
that's what keeps you in races. You know, you can easily just pile them there and get a bunch of damage, get your incident points up. You know, a lot of people are going to have a lot of damage and going to be laps down after this, whereas you do a nice defensive driving there from Brad, keeps them in the race.
Absolutely, very well done indeed. It's sometimes it's avoidance of incidents. It's a key skill in oval racing because unfortunately accidents do happen on the old ovals, and these things can really check up. Dave Douglas is in the lead.
Just going to say that we're about to go about to get a restart here, and I see we got a new leader. So I'm not sure if we missed something before the caution. Oh, hang on. I don't know.
No, we.
They had to come to a stop because of the wreck, and Jason's been classed behind Dave. But anyway, here we come back to the green. We've got things shaped up here now. We've got a new leader.
We have it indeed. The green casting couch entry of Dave Douglas gets away, gets on the power nicely. Jason Munn's going to try it around the outside. He's going to try and slingshot it. Can't quite make it work at the moment as they go around, but he gets it on the exit there.
Big lot of wheel spin there for Dave coming out the corners. So these tyres are beginning up pretty sad at this point. And it's a hard thing to drive when it's cold with brand new tyres, and even harder now on old tyres. But Dave really struggling here.
Yeah,
He's even got Brenton Henderson having a cracker of a race up here, fighting in the top 5 here.
Qualifying paying off for Henderson, the only SRM car to qualify tonight, and he's making it work at the moment. And as I said, it's good to see him back after being out with sickness. So he is really back with a vengeance now, running up solidly in the top 4 at the moment, and he's been having a good run.
Might have that word of his team boss, like, hey, here's this boy stuff pretty good. You can see all the boys come out, filing out of pit road here, ones who had cautions, to come right out into this lead pack. This could be a bit awkward.
And you see there, Ryan Jones just out beside Paul Drady. It's always a nervous moment when you're one of the cars that has damage, just feeding out into the pack, especially when it's all the leaders, because you're just going, oh, please don't wreck anybody, please don't wreck anybody, just want to get back into the rhythm of this race.
Here he goes, Jones. They're fighting for the lucky dog here, so Jones has got to be racing as hard as he can. He does get past Mark Smith. That will put him, I believe, back in the lucky dog spot.
He is actually 2 laps down Ryan Jones, so he's really got to work hard for it to try and get that lap back. Lucky Dog at the moment is still Mark Smith, and JCW is the next car in that group. I think JCW's actually just got past him, so we'll keep an eye on the Lucky Dog spot. But 65 laps in, 70 laps remaining is all.
Oh, Darren McKenzie got a big tag there from the 212, and another one in the middle of the corner, so maybe a bit of beef going on there. But Darren lifting up. He came to take tyres earlier on, didn't he? So we might have to keep an eye on Darren, so he might be one of the lead cars with tyres. So
yeah, he's only done 16 laps on those tyres, whereas the rest of the field from Drady onwards have all done the full 65 laps. So he's the first car on fresh tyres at the moment. And McKenzie,
Mark Smith there, getting very courteous there, trying to get out of the way of Darren and end up in cloud of that wall. But we have to keep an eye on Darren here. If we get a few laps, if we can get a green run going, he could be on a very, very good, strong spot. Car looks pretty clean as well.
Yeah, and Darren McKenzie, he's not a driver to shy away from a bit of hip and shoulder as well. He's one of those other drivers that can be very aggressive and very good at getting through stuff and just keeping the car in a good, solid position. We're just looking at Matty Ray there. He's currently down in 24th position and a lap down, unfortunately, in the SRM machine. And a few tales of woe out there tonight. And Matty Ray's been having a bit of an off season so far. He's been caught up in a few incidents, unfortunately for him.
Yeah, he just got stuck in that parking lot down the bottom there, and I imagine he's just lost the lap because he couldn't get out of the way before the leaders came back round to take their lap back. So unfortunate for Matty, but you know, you just can't do that. That's how it be sometimes. See, Darren now is going to get up inside of JC Dub. He's still coming on. He's got good. I'm not sure we can see what the lap times are, but if you get a bit of fresh air here, I reckon that'd be pretty good.
Yeah, so last time around, Jason Martin, 20.077. He's definitely the fastest car in the field. Not too much difference between time at the start of the race and later on, but just a couple of tenths in it at the moment. But I'm interested to see what Darren McKenzie can do. So, the caution flag is out for Brett Campbell.
So now what do you do if you're in this lead pack? Do you come take tyres? Because we've only got 19 cars on the lead lap, so we might see a few more takers. And you can see there Brett Campbell on the grass there, never a good spot.
Looks like the car is unsettled. Back end just steps out and around she goes. And very, very lucky for Kobe Jordan. I think he may have just made the slightest bit of contact, but got through that one pretty much unscathed.
Right, here we go. Who's going to be our first taker? Oh, Dave fakes it out. Kai Turner's come down.
The old fake pit entry by Dave Douglas. He's a master at that one. The old massive swerve. But Kai Turner coming in, and the 408, and that car is looking relatively unscathed.
A couple of other takers. Brad Finlay is down there as well. On Wesley, but he's probably getting a bit of damage fixed. So the leaders still keen to stick it out at the front. They obviously have seen all these cautions. They haven't seen too many of them up front, and so they're quite happy to stay out of the trouble at this current stage.
Oh, and the trouble with a black car is it looked relatively unscathed from the helicopter view, and then you get it a bit closer and you realise it's missing pretty much the whole front end and the rear end's caved in. So Turner's car is not looking unscathed at all. That thing is looking very battle damaged as well. Pretty much, I think the only cars out there that are damage free are the leaders of Martin and Nicklemore, and Dave Douglas might be. He's got a little bit of a wrinkle on his car, so. It looks like there's probably only 2 cars out there at the moment that are completely free of damage. But another one that's looking very, very clean, apart from just a little bit of crinkle at the rear, is the 81 of Brenton Henderson. He's been having a solid run tonight, up 8 positions. And another big gainer tonight, Luke Georgeson. He's snuck it up there in the Area 51. We saw him around the wrong way earlier in the race. He's up 25 positions at the moment in P5.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure he was wrecked about 20 laps ago, wasn't he? So he's having a crack of a race. Well done, Luke. But yeah, Brenton as well. Hitting the 81, having a great race. Big fan of that caution there would have been JC Dub. I believe that will put him back on the lead lap. So he's back in this race. And he won't be too far back, as I said. There aren't too many cars now on the lead lap. Got about 20-ish with that lucky dog. So he's not too far away from this lead. So he'll have fresh tyres as well. So we'll see if he can work his way through the field here.
Yeah, he's no slouch in the 35 Natari, and we know JCW can be very, very quick, so he's looking for a good run tonight. Just the lone Natari out there, so just JCW representing that team tonight. But it's going to be interesting to see who can make fresh tyres work and, who can make old tyres work. And I've got a couple of pennies on Jason Martin for making old tyres work. He seems to be very good at keeping old tyres very, very alive at the end of races.
Oh yeah, for sure, he's good, but everyone makes mistakes. We saw him make one just not too long ago on one of these restarts, so you never know what's going to happen.
And
sorry, yep, go ahead.
I was just about to say, I'm sure Josh will be devastated if Jason had a big accident and ended up towards the rear of the field for the championship aspects.
Well, I'm sure Jace wants to knock off this curse of finishing second, so he's got the lead and he's probably going to do whatever it takes to not give that up. Probably run over his own grandmother at this point.
Rick the boss for the
so
win.
Unfortunate. So unfortunate at Kota as well. I mean, yeah, he's been having a run recently, but we are back to green flag racing, and doesn't look like there's any grandmas out there, so that's good news for Jason. He doesn't have to run her over at the moment, but he has got in the lead nicely.
Dave Douglas got the inside of 31 here. He's going to try and get back to P2 here. Ooh, drifts up a bit, racing hard. Brendan right behind him. Very strong race at Brendan.
Nice indeed. Douglas really putting pressure on, and now Mackenzie's working his way through the field on those fresher tyres. As I just heard Wesley Posey, he's out of this race, and I think somebody got caught on the back of that as well, as his engine expired in front of a whole heap of cars, unfortunately, and nobody had anywhere to run it in that one. A few people finally serving their drive-through penalty. It's been a while, but they are finally able to do that drive-through and get that one cleared.
Yeah, he said it's definitely, you said it earlier, Carl, you get a little damage in the front there, you're going to probably see some engine blow-ups. Yep, we just had one there which caused a bit of drama, unfortunately, just going straight back to green and blowing up. It couldn't be a worse time. But here's Darren, he's going to try and sneak down the inside of this 81. He's coming on these fresh tyres. You have to watch out for him.
He's pushing forwards nicely at the moment, and down the inside of Henderson, just able to use those tyres to get better drive off the corner and better purchase through the corner as well.
Yeah, well, definitely the rear tyres would be pretty sad at this point. Brendan's holding strong though, he's right on his door. He's given him just enough racing room, but nothing more, but those fresh tyres are going to pay off for him. He's almost got him clear here, but not quite. But he should be all right here. And Luke George is going to try and dive in there and make the most of this as well.
Yeah, that's it. Luke Georgeson just sniffing an opportunity there and taking advantage of it nicely. Urquio as well, just behind them as well. We saw Urquio caught up in a big incident, and he's making his way up. There's a little bit of door-to-door contact between Henderson and Georgeson there, and rubbing his racing, son.
Oh, Lockie's about to go around, still got tagged.
And around goes the 42.
Lockie, we were just going to mention him. He would have had fresh tyres as well and would have been coming through. And he's just been run over there by Jai. And around she goes.
Yeah, just caught on the rear by by Jai Schultz, and then that checkup's caught Paul Drady and Barry Neal in for that one as well. So caution flag is out again, and well, short track racing, the joy of short track racing. Sometimes when it goes bad, it just goes bad in a constant way, doesn't it?
Never been to a track more where the red mist descends in Martinsville. I think half the races I've been here, I've rage quit out of afterwards. Doesn't matter where I finish. I could finish top 5 and I'll still be more mad than any other place. So yeah, this is what this place is known for. So that's what I was looking forward to. I want to see some people. Oh, here comes Brendan Henderson. He's pitting. He's one of the first leaders. He's seen Darren on those fresh tyres come through, and he is in. So I'm not surprised to see like the top 3 here, like Dave, Josh, and Jason. They've been obviously up front all race, and they don't want to go anywhere else. But now Darren is going to be there on that second row on fresh tyres. We've still got plenty of laps to go. So Darren's in a really good spot right now.
Absolutely, and look, this could work out for Henderson as well if it all goes well. But short track racing, everything could change. And as you were saying, Hamish, the red mist descent. So I had a little bit of that myself in the trucks the other week. And it is so easy to get frustrated at these places because it just takes the slightest bit of contact. You watch it back on the replay and go, oh, okay, I see what has happened there. But it's so easy to have little moments here.
Yeah, it's just magnified by the incident limit because someone will give you a tiny little tap. It's not just a small mistake and it's 4Xs, and then someone might come and give you another bump. That's another 4X. Before you know it, you got a black flag, or then you're spending half the race running around at risk of being DQ'd. So that's definitely a part of it. But that's just short track racing at Martinsville. We got a big delta between your top speed and the corner. You got to use a lot of brake. We see it pretty common as other tracks like Phoenix. So that's how it is. I say Paul Drady's obviously one of these people. He's obviously been run over a couple of times, and he's on the radio firing up about his incident point limit, but he won't be the only one out there, trust me.
No, that's it. And one of the worst things to happen on the short track is you just get back on the lead lap and then get somebody taking you out. That's when the red mist truly descends. Yep. And you spend hours a lap down, and then all of a sudden you get taken out. And you just go, oh.
Yeah, you spend the entire race trying to fight your way back to that lucky dog. You get on that lead lap and then someone runs you over and then you DQ'd and you're, oh boy, they happened to me last year in a truck race, and believe me, I was like, I'm never racing in Martinsville ever again. But here we are, we've come back to green flag. We got, how's this going to play out? We got the top 3 cars, probably some of the only people we have not pitted, I imagine, at this point. So going to be interesting. There's a bunch of other cars behind them on fresh tyres. Can they make this work?
Watch Mackenzie here. He's going to be absolutely chomping at the bit. Jai Schultz as well. We know how he can race too. So Mackenzie going, looking to... Oh, is he going to go try 3 wide? No, he decides better of it than sending it down the middle of Douglas and Micklemore. But he's trying to get underneath the rear bumper of Douglas at the moment, trying to keep Josh up on the high side, trying to stop him from getting that low line and keep a run on. Meanwhile, Jason Martin's running away out front like a whippet with a bum full of dynamite. He's getting a nice lead at the moment.
Yeah, Josh, you got a whole heap of wheel spin there. Looks like on the gear change. And that's what's dropped him back now. He's fighting with Darren. So Darren's in a real good position here. If he can just clear Josh, he's going to be P3 on fresh tyres. Watch out.
And we've not seen how much speed he can get on those fresher tyres with clean air as well. It's pretty much been stuck in traffic all race long for him. His tyres have only done half the distance of those cars around him, so he is sitting in a good spot.
Barry Neal must have had a penalty to serve. He looks like he's just come out of pit road in a very slow car, an hour lap down. So sad night there for Baz. He's been strong this season, but not a night for him.
No, when it goes wrong for Barry Neal, it goes wrong in a big way, unfortunately. It's sort of snowball effects. It just gets bigger, worse and worse as it goes on. That's Mackenzie looking to make... Georgeson looking to make a move on Micklemore there. Micklemore just ran a little bit offline, and Georgeson was trying to send it up. Didn't quite have the speed for it. Watch out for Jai Schultz. He's on some fresh... as the caution flag is out.
Just going to say... Darren wants some green flag laps here because Josh could be a bit vulnerable now. He's sort of got a whole bunch of cars with fresh tyres right behind him, but it looks like our man, he just came and took green tyres. The 81 there, he's just turned another orange car there in the 619 into in the turn one there. He's just trying to get, he's got obviously had those fresh tyre and he's trying to make things happen. He hasn't quite been able to get a clean move on.
Unfortunate there. But one car's gain is another one's. One car's loss, I should say, is another one's gain, and this is going to be Maddie Ray getting back on the lead lap. And we see here three orange cars in a row there, so lots of orange on screen. But the 81 just collecting the 619 there of Michael Campbell, and around she goes.
Yeah, so Darren will have the inside start here, so he'll be trying to clear Dave as quickly as possible, and then it'll be a one-on-one match. Jace, obviously, B1, lead at every lap, versus a car on fresh tyres.
Did you see Maddie Ray there just absolutely taking to the grass to avoid contact, so he did not get an incident point and lose his lucky dog there? He was very, very close to getting to not getting the wave by in that incident.
Yeah, Maddie Ray being Maddie Ray. But he's, as always, he's going to find his way back in front. He's spent half the race a lap down, not for his own doing. Hopefully he's probably got a bunch of incident points in the bag built up. But yeah, he's back on the lead lap, and I imagine he's probably got some decent tyres under that thing. He would have been pitting when he's a lap down. So yeah, he might be able to make something happen here at the end of this race.
Luke Traher has got a drive-through penalty, so he's going to have to come down pit lane for that in the very near future. Maddie Ray, only on 5 incident points. You look at that car, see all the damage on it, and you think, that thing must be very close to copping a drive-through penalty. But no, Maddie Ray absolutely keeping that thing as out of trouble as he possibly can, only on the 5 incident points.
Aiden Schultz, I believe, he was the first one to get a black flag. He somehow managed to make his way back up to P7. So, it's never over here at Martinsville. You can be dead last, you can bounce back to the black flag. He somehow managed to make his way back up to P7 here. So, Aiden's it's never over here at Martinsville. He's also got some dead last underneath him as well now.
Yeah, Aiden Schultz is only done 45 laps on those tyres, so a few of those cars in good position. Watch out for Brad Fenley in the VB, the Aussie Beer Racing. That thing's only done 20-odd laps on the tyres. He's with Kai Turner, Josh JCW, and Stevie Dubb. All of those cars only done 20 or so laps on their tyres, so those guys could have a bit of a run here in the latter stages. Also, Giant Schultz started from pit lane. So he's managed to work his way up nicely through the field. It won't say he's gained many positions in this race, but starting from pit lane, he's gained a whole heap in this race so far.
Yeah, that's a solid effort. He's got a bit of damage on the rear. Oh, we just had a car run into the barrier.
What's happened there to Georgeson? Because he was having a fantastic run. And he's had a big issue with connectivity. Looks like that car has just gone into a different universe. And then on the way through, it's just found the barrier. So that is a big shame for Luke Georgeson. He was running well, but we're back to green flag racing here at Martinsville. Good start for Jason Martin. Look at Darren McKenzie. He wants to get up there as quick as possible. He does not want to lose any positions right now. He is putting the pressure on at the moment as Josh Micklemore tries to make the move. Dave Douglas on the outside still.
Yeah, big wheel spin as well for Darren. He saw Jace go and he stamped on the throttle and got a lot of wheel spin, which was a big gap there, but he's still got the inside of Dave here. He should be able to clean him. Someone who didn't have a good restart was Jay Schultz. We were just talking about him. Once again, Commentator's Curse. He's dropped like a rock, so maybe he's got some damage or he just had a bad restart, but he's struggling back there. He's defending from Brad. Brad's going to sneak up the inside as Darren is still fighting here with Dave.
That battle is looking like it's going to bring some fireworks in the near future because Brad Phillip was right on the inside there, taking the tightest line I've ever seen at Martinsville, and somehow gets the car around. But Darren McKenzie now trying to get through as they go past Luke Traher here. McKenzie and Douglas still side by side, but McKenzie's just able to get that bit better drive off the corner. Will he make it through? Not yet. Look at Mickelmore coming from nowhere. He makes the money, catches Douglas, and around they go. Caution flag is out.
Woo! Now the leaders are getting into it, boys. This is good. So Josh he's made a bit of he's seen Darren get up there. He's sort of forced Dave out there, and Josh has sort of a big hole. He's centered up there, locked that left front. We talked about it all night, how hard these cars are to drive, locking the left fronts on cold tyres, and he's just centered in and clobbered Dave. So Dave, a bit unfortunate for Dave. He's had such a strong race. to get taken out late on the game. It's going to be tough to bounce back from that.
Yeah, we were being treated some great action there, but Josh just catches that one, locks the wheel, and up he goes. And unfortunately, Dave Douglas at the wrong place at the wrong time. Almost saves it, but almost is never enough. And around she goes, heavy contact into the wall for the number 10.
What do we have now? We've got Jason's got no friend. Well, he's still. Oh, Josh is still there, I guess. But he's got Darren. You're going to be starting outside of him now. So is Josh going to be able to hold him out there to let Jace get away? Got Aiden right behind him now as well. He's going to be pushing hard along with Kai Turner. So still got 30 odd laps to go once we go green. So still plenty of racing to come.
And the 98 of Stevie Dub, one of those cars that we saw in the wall in a wrong place earlier in this race, getting caught up in some incidents. But now, of course, he's running up in P6, and you can never take your eye off Stevie Dub. He is a veteran, and one of those drivers that will absolutely creep up there. You won't notice him until the end of the race and go, how did he get that position?
Yeah, speaking of which, got Lockie. He was wrecked again as well about 10 laps ago, firing up on the radio, and now he's currently sitting P13, knocking on the on our top 10 again. So it doesn't matter what happens, you can still have a chance here. Although I could say that the opposite for his teammate, poor old Ruben's still a lap down, still in an absolutely destroyed looking car. He's had a miserable night, poor old Rubes.
He has. It was a while ago that we were saying he was the first car a lap down, and he's found himself a lap down again, and he's just trying to battle his way back up there in the SRM machine. Matty Ray, Lachlan Urquhart, and Brenton Henderson all relatively close together, so a few SRM cars running out there on the lead lap at least, so that would be good news for their team. Just having a quick look, and a few people are very, very close to those old instant point limits, and that's going to be interesting to see how it plays out. Hopefully, though, we will see everybody getting through the race, not needing to worry about drive-through or a penalty from hitting the instant points. If you are new to iRacing and new to Formula Eastern watching the ANZCAR series, drivers get 12 instant points they have to serve a drive-through, 17 instant points they get disqualified from the race, and in iRacing, if you make contact or sort of go offline, take advantage of the track, so to say, you'll gain yourself 2 to 4 instant points for those moments. Heavy contact with another car can get you the 4 instant points, so they can build up quite quickly, especially on a short track.
Speaking of hidden things, see Luke Georgian is still out there after his little incident running into the barrels. I'm surprised they didn't bring out a delayed green. I'm not sure what happened there, but he's still rolling. He's got quite a lot of front end damage, but about to come up to yet another restart.
Absolute devastation for Georgeson in the 274. Just a connectivity problem, and into the barriers he went, but we're about to go back to green flag racing here. Jason Martin going to lead away. Does he get down on the power nicely? We're going to find out in the restart zone. On the floor, he gets away good. A bit of a check-up just behind for Fenley as Josh Mickelmore squeezes his way through that up into second. Look at Kai Turner now putting on the pressure. Kai Turner now, the driver on the freshest tyres in the top 10. He is only done about 30 odd laps on those tyres, so he's looking pretty good. As Mackenzie starts to struggle a little bit now, he's getting towards the latter end of those tyres.
He got sort of strung out there, but he's managed to come down in front of Kai. Kai's given him a little bump there to let him know, but yeah, he's got himself sorted. He's going to be fighting back against Josh. Josh is going to be quite vulnerable, I imagine, against these fresh tyres. Whereas he can hold off for Jace. Jace can pull a gap. I mean, Jace is going to be good on old tyres anyway, but Josh has got a mirror full of cars on fresh tyres now right behind him. Going to be hungry to get past.
Yeah, that could be a real distracting thing as well. You look up there and go, oh no, it's going to be a lot of defensive driving needed to be done. He's just going to be keeping his eye on that, and while he's doing that, he can't go on the attack to 21, of course. So we should be seeing some good runs here, and Jason Martin just setting a 19.9, one of the fastest laps I've seen for a while, and only a smidge off the fastest lap of the race. Looks like that thing's still got some pace in it.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure he'll find pace. No one else can. I see Josh having to go a little bit defensive there coming out of the corner. Got a little bit loose coming out of 4. Had to sort of cover off into 1s. He's got a mirror for Darren right now. Darren will be sniffing all over him, trying to make it, get Josh to make a mistake. As Josh makes a mistake there, gets very close in the middle of the corner.
Real close stuff there. Little scratch of the wall as well, getting the stripe on the side of the car. An important thing to do at Martinsville. Not as good as Darlington, but still need a little bit of the wall back here.
Oh, as JC Dub throws a big block on the 81. The 81 is trying to get past Josh. Josh goes right to the bottom in the middle of the back stretch. He's doing whatever he can to hold on to that position in a very beat up looking car as we got a caution.
As cars are around in the background through turn number 4. Just going back to see who that was.
Looks like Luke Trujillo and Phil Bissett.
Yeah. And that's brought the caution flag out once more tonight. We're getting towards the end. We're on lap 114, so only 22 laps to go. That's the other thing now. Aggression is going to be turned up all the way to 11 as these cars will be getting to the end of the race. And what we often see is the old aggression gets turned up fully and little things can happen very, very quickly here. As all around he goes, does he make contact with his teammate? No, just squeezes through there by the narrowest of margins. But looks like one of the inside lane production cars didn't.
It was in that black car that he got round him when he came to a stop there. That was really good evasive driving. Yeah, that matte black car there.
It's one of the inside lane production cars. I can't see if it's Kobe Jordan.
I think it was Kobe, yeah.
I think it is. It's Kobe Jordan.
Yeah, good job, Kobe there. But yeah, to your point there, Carl, the braking markers in turn 1, well, these restarts are going to get deeper and deeper each time because for a lot of people, that's your easiest chance to make a pass. So you're not going to be given an inch.
And finally, for the 06, he is back on the lead lap. It may have taken 115 laps, but he is finally there.
Well done, Rubes!
And look, hopefully it will stay that way for him tonight because he's had a rough one so far. Just been one of those nights where he's tried lots of things and nothing's really worked.
He's still rolling down pit lane to get that damage fixed. He must have taken a big old hit early on. He's still trying to get it repaired.
At that stage, you might as well just wheel out a new car. I think that's kind of what they have to do.
Yeah, wheel her out of the truck. Got the spare. But here we go. So Darren's going to have the inside now. He needs a real good restart. It's going to be tough. He's obviously the two front cars will be working together. He's got to make this move on Josh. Got to make it quick if he's going to have any chance to win this race. Because he gets stuck behind Josh, Jason will just drive away.
And what can those cars on fresher tyres do? You've got Kai Turner. His car is very, very beaten up, but it is on very fresh tyres compared to the rest of the field. You've got Jason Martin, Josh Micklemore, Dave Douglas. They have not changed tyres at all in this race. Darren McKenzie has done half the distance of those guys, as well as Aidan Schultz, Jai Schultz, Brad Fenley and Josh Carroll-Walden. So a lot of different tyres on the track, but we're about to go green here. It's Jason Martin going to be leading away into the restart zone. He goes. Oh, I'm jumping ahead of myself a bit there.
Yeah, so obviously these yellow flag laps, big benefit for the guys who have not pitted, just click all these laps off. Yeah. You're not racing anybody, so Darren will be wanting this thing to stay green, so he needs as many laps as he can to try and clear his cars on old tyres. So he's going to have Aidan right behind him, so he'll no doubt be giving him a little hurry along. He won't be messing about as well.
Pace car pulls in, and we will be going green this time round. Sorry, I got a bit ahead of myself last time. Into the restart zone we go. Mark's just got to be careful not to spin up those tyres. Same for Micklemore on the outside. Getting there nice and slow in there. Onto the throttle nicely, smoothly done. And away we go. Micklemore's getting a good launch, but Mackenzie's got to run on the inside.
Darren. Good restart for Darren. He is well off the line there. Didn't spin the tyres, and that's going to put him right side by side with Josh. Josh is going to give him plenty of room, and he's going to clear Josh. He's in P2. Can he do anything to Jason?
Slowly, Mackenzie's just been jumping up places on these restarts. And if you can make a place every restart, then I imagine he would kind of like to have one more caution tonight, so he can make one more place in this race. That's all he has to do. And it's been a stellar season so far for Mackenzie. First season back in ANZCAR for a while. And coming into this race, he's sitting P3. So we've got all three of our championship leaders up in the top 3 positions. So that's nice to see. As Dave Douglas and Josh Carrot-Walden make a bit of a run on each other towards the back. Some good racing going on. And remember, JCW on much fresher tyres as well. As Brenton Henderson as well. He's looking to make a move on Douglas.
Yeah, poor old Dave. He's lost that track position and he's stuck on those old tyres. He's a bit of a walking wounded. But JC Dub has been very aggressive with him. He was door banging him. He's not messing around. He wants to get back to the front. He's had a bit of a sad race. And look at this big block he throws on Chai right here. JC Dub's not messing about. I love it.
Oh, it's around goes for hair. And the caution flag is out. What happened to Luke Traher there? Looks like he may have just had a little bit. Two Lukes got together. Georgeson and Traher make contact with each other. And it looks like Traher might have been sent to the naughty realm. So Traher has been his instant point limit. He's out of the race. We've lost Mark Smith, Brett Campbell, Luke Crum, Luke Traher, and Barry Neal from instant points.
Yep, she's been a high. Oh, Barry Neal gave the 42 a huge hit as well afterwards. So, well, again, we're just talking about Lockie's fought his way back up there, and he's just taken a big old hit from 22. But yeah, big high attrition tonight. We had that one big wreck. There's just been lots of little wrecks, and those incident points count up.
And I'm surprised. I was kind of wondering if Dave Douglas would pull into pit lane and try something on tyres, because he was plummeting down the field. He's currently sitting in P9 though, so you know, I'm guessing he's just going to stick it out there.
Yeah, I mean, there's only 16 cars in the lead lap, but I guess you know, that's possibly maybe 3 or 4 laps on the green here. There's only really so much you can do, I guess. So he's just gonna stick it out by the looks of it, Dave. But not sure if that's what Darren he didn't want to see that, because now he's going to be stuck on the outside and he's going to have 2 cars working together on the inside, so there's a good chance he's going to lose P2 here. So not what Darren wanted to see, but that's what it is. Yes, I'm sure it's what JC Dub wanted to see, because he's going to close that gap up and he can get the bumper out now and start working away on these guys ahead of him.
That's it. And well, Mackenzie's been relatively good on the restarts. He's sort of made a position after every restart, but it's going to be very hard to get it done on the outside, and especially against the 21 of Jason Martin. Not the easiest man to pass on the best of nights, but when it's so close to the end, Jason's going to be going full aggression mode. And watch out for Micklemore as well, because you know how quick Josh is as well. No slouch in any of these drivers. They are all very quick, and they're all going to be trying their hardest actually.
Yeah, name another thing I've mentioned tonight is Michael Campbell in the 619, just knocking on the outside of a top 10. So strong race for Michael. Good to see. Some new names fighting for these positions. He's got Brad Finlay ahead of him in that VB car. I mean, that's a solid run there for Brad tonight. Could easily pick off Dave here as well. Dave's sort of struggling on these old tyres, so he's got some options there. When you say Brenton Henderson, he took those tyres and he's worked his way up back to P8, so he's done a good job driving up through. He had that little incident earlier on where he turned Michael, but otherwise he has had a strong race as well.
Yeah, Brenton Henderson's had a really strong showing tonight, and it's like nice to see after being out for a couple of rounds due to sickness, and always nice to see somebody coming back strong. And the pace car lights are out, so we'll be pulling off into pit road very shortly. Just looking through the field quickly. Big movers of the night: Kai Turner and Aidan Schultz. 17 positions for Turner, 19 for Aidan Schultz. So some nice moves up the field. Pace car comes in. We're about to go green. 7 laps remaining here at Martinsville for round number 8 of the Thunder Series.
Watch for Aidan here. He's going to have seen it, I reckon, in turn 1.
Nice restart.
Bad restart time. Yeah, Kai Turner's going to get down in front of him. But Darren's held out there, but he's probably going to lose P3 here. Watch for JC Dub. Watch for JC Dub.
Speaking of people that are going to send it, JC Dub is one of those drivers.
Oh, we got contact. We got contact back here. Still green. We're still green.
still green. Did look like Dave Douglas had a little bit of contact with somebody, possibly Henderson, because they sort of fell off the pace a little bit. I have to go back and look at that. But up the front is the battle, and you can see Mickelmore is having to defend against Mackenzie at the moment. Mackenzie's putting all kinds of pressure on, so is Kai Turner. The final step of the podium is
from JC Dub. Look at this block. he's running the fence on the straight, but he's holding that position. He must have a bunch of damage in there. He's just doing whatever it takes the whole position. But he's got Lockie Wright come out of. He's obviously had a black flag. He's done right in front of him, but he's still got enough of a gap there. But they're all getting bowled up behind him now.
It's all up the front. I think I had one of the cars just making contact with the wall. It was Darren Mackenzie. He lost a lot of momentum, and that's giving Turner the opportunity to have a bit of a run. And look, JCW looks like he is missing a few ponies in that Mustang as Aiden Schultz.
Darren's gone too deep in the turn 3, and he's given the bowling up to Kai. Kai needs to get this done here. Darren's driving it hard as he can. Maybe overdriving it a wee bit now. A little bit of desperation's kicking in. Kai looking good here for get up under Darren. Got the fresh tyres, I believe, didn't he?
He does indeed, and a little bit of door rub in there. Just a little tiny bit of contact. Turner makes the move though.
Well done, Turner. He just fed him gently into the fence there. So you got a choice. You can lift or you can run the wall. So Darren smartly lifted, and Kai's going to get back to the front. Kai in a very damaged-looking car, looking good to bring home P3 here. Well done, Kai.
The white flag will be coming out. We've got one lap remaining. We will go to the green flag here. Looks like Jason Martin's got this win secured, but behind there is all kinds of action still going on as Jason Martin will bring it home for victory here tonight. He's had so many P2s, and finally the P1 comes. It's Jason Martin taking victory here at Martinsville. Josh Mickelmore will come home second, with Kai Turner bringing it home third, Darren Mackenzie fourth, Joshua Carroll-Walden in fifth, Jai Schultz sixth, seventh for Brenton Henderson, Stephen Abbott eighth, ninth for Ruben Phelps, and 10th for Matty Ray.
Oh, look at that. Where the hell did Ruben come from? He spent 90% of his race a lap down and somehow still gets a top 10. It beats his teammate Matty Ray home as well. But well done to Jason. Obviously, would have led probably every lap, I imagine. The old classic start up front and never pit. Win the race.
Great. The only time it looked like he was going to lose the leader of the race, the caution came out and gave Josh Mickelmore have to move back into P2. Great run from him.
Yep. So giving a little bit of lucky there, but obviously Darren will be kicking himself. He was looking real good there for P2 at least, and if not a win, yeah, that late caution he sort of screwed him over with the restart. So. But still a good race for Darren, and definitely a good race for Kai there, starting 21st and bringing home a top 3 with no front end. So that's a pretty good effort.
The modified version of the car.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, it kept the engine cool and it got him to the end. Just towards the end of that race, Aiden Schultz, he got the DQ for contact, unfortunately. So yeah, there was a lot going on. Meanwhile, we'll run through the finishing. We'll run through the finishing order. Is Jason Martin taking victory here tonight? Josh Mickelmore, Kai Turner in third position. Darren Mackenzie comes home in fourth position. Fifth for Joshua Carroll-Walden. Jai Schultz in sixth. Seventh for Brenton Henderson. Eighth for Steve Dubb. Ruben Phelps in ninth. Matty Ray comes home in 10th. As we roll over, it's Paul Drady coming home in P11 with Brad Fenley in 12th, 13th for Kobe Jordan, Dave Douglas 14th, 15th for Quio. Michael Campbell comes home 16th, solid top 20 finish. Ryan Jones in 17th, 18th for Aiden Schultz, Phil Bissett in 19th position, and Luke Georgeson in 20th. 21st sees Norman Clark bringing it home with Luke Dreyer just behind him, 22nd. 23rd for Barry Newell, Brett Campbell, 24th. 25th for Tristan Koch, Christopher Tomlin, 26th. 27th for Mark Smith, Wesley Closey, 28th. 29th for Adam Malone, Luke Crum in 30th, and Mirko Dortneck rounding out our field of 31 tonight, out early doors.
Well, we could probably class that as a classic ANZCAR Martinsville race. Probably more laps under caution than green, and a lot of angry drivers. But hey, it was a good fun race to watch.
Absolutely, it's going to be a busy night for the admin staff. I can already tell that. So, always makes it fun. But some great racing out there when we saw it. Just unfortunately, as is short track racing, a few cautions out there tonight. But we're just waiting for some of those drivers just to stretch their legs and walk up to the green room here at Martinsville. So as we just wait for those drivers just to wander down there. As always, Hamish, some good racing here tonight, but the championship wise, not so good. It's so hard to beat Jason Martin on the best of times. But again, he just proves himself very, very tricky to beat by just keeping out in front and getting the win here tonight.
Yeah, we only have to look at the stats and look at his incidents per corner or whatever, all that kind of stuff. And he's got probably the lowest in the league. So Jason does whatever it takes to avoid putting himself in bad positions, and that's why he always ends up with such good results and so few wrecks, because you need to be consistent to win championships. And Josh is pretty good doing that too. That's why he's leading the truck championship purely on that basis by racking up those top fives. So you say it's just one of those races where you start up front and it's such a big advantage because everyone else is battling away behind you, wrecking each other and giving some penalties and damage, and yeah, you can just sort of cruise around up front. So you almost lost it at one point, but yeah, Jace managed to hold on. So one on the Jace.
No, absolutely. And look, I mean, this is why we don't have a teams championship, because it would be the Mitch Motorsport Championship. So be very hard to beat the Mitch crew. But yeah, some good stuff out there. We're just waiting for Kai Turner to appear. And just not seeing him out there at the moment. So what we might do is bring up the second place finisher, the 31 for Mitch Motorsport. It is Mr. Josh Micklemore. Josh, welcome to the booth. Congratulations on P2 tonight here at Martinsville.
Yeah, cheers, boys.
Fairly solid run out there. You had to put in a lot of effort to keep that P2 under your belt tonight, though.
Yeah, especially off the restarts. There's a lot of wheel spin off those restarts. You've probably seen one of the restarts was hell sideways, went back to fourth or fifth. But yeah, if you can manage your wheel spins, you're all right. But definitely paid off restarting on the bottom.
We saw you having a good battle with Jason as well, and almost pip him to first position as well. And then the caution flag came out just at the wrong moment for you.
Yeah, he managed to get a fair bit of wheel spin down the bottom there, and we had a bit of a run on him coming out of turn 2, coming into 3-4. But we had it up the inside of him, but unfortunately the yellow came out. So, but yeah, he was very quick tonight though.
I know we said at the start of the broadcast, it's almost like they named a track after him because he is so quick here.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of good battles though going on tonight. Unfortunately, to see a few of those cautions. It looked like you managed to make it through unscathed tonight.
Yeah, there was one little incident. I think there was a lap car behind me, Luke Trahere. He was poking his nose in, and I wasn't having a bar of it, and I went a little bit too hard, and then unfortunately locked up the left front and got into Dave. So I'm sorry to Dave about that. But yeah, apart from that, all the cautions are at the back by the look of it. So we're out of most of them, apart from that one where I locked them up.
Absolutely, and it's just one of those unfortunate things. Easy to do, even for the best drivers out there. As with you locking it up, Josh. I mean, it just proves that you guys are human, which we need to see that occasionally.
Yeah, to be honest with you, this car was actually quite easy to lock up tonight. In practice, it was hell. I didn't like the actual setup too much, but yeah, we managed to get through it, and have some good hard close racing with a few guys at the top, and then come up 1-2.
Look, congratulations tonight. Hamish, anything to add for Mr. Micklemore?
Well done, boss. P2. It's your turn to be P2. I was just going to say, you ever consider pitting at all? Because you, Jason, Dave, probably the only people who didn't pit. Did you ever consider bringing it down and getting 4 freshies?
If we were going to get a 20-25 lapper run before the lap 70, 75, we might have. But after that, nah, definitely not.
Yeah, definitely looked like a bit of a dog, eh? Like the locking the left front early on, and then the wheel spin. So what would have been like, you think, on if you got a long run? Like, what would have been like the drive?
Probably neutral, to be honest. Like, stay the same as it was, I reckon. To be honest, yeah. If you take the brakes down a bit, you got to get a little bit freer in the front end. I took them down a little bit, but still probably not enough because I was still locking them up a bit. But yeah, I think it would have stayed pretty neutral, to be honest.
Well done, Joshy. P2, solid race. Be good for your championship, no doubt, as well.
Yeah, not too bad. We're gonna try and get a couple of wins though. We've got to keep beating the bloody teammate that won tonight. But it's good close battles up there at the front with Jace. So we'll see how we go.
All right, mate. What are you going to give any shout outs for us?
Yeah, just shout out to all the Mitch Motorsport boys. And yeah, you guys put on the broadcast as well on the ANZCAR.
Thank you so much, Josh. And look, I'm sure we'll catch you back in the booth in the very near future. Hopefully for your sake in the championship, it will be just slightly ahead of the purple team, mate.
Yeah, I'm going to try and beat Hamish in the trucks Monday night now.
They've not made it easy for you, have they? You've got to beat Hamish in a truck, Jason in this. I mean, you know.
Yeah, it's good fun. Keeps me young, mate.
Thank you so much, Joshy. Have a good night, mate.
See you, boys.
Josh Mickle there for Mitch Motorsport P2 tonight. Next up, we are missing our third place finisher, Kai Turner, unfortunately. But we will grab up the race winner. It is the mean purple machine of Jason Martin, the 21, taking the victory tonight. He's been the bridesmaid too many times, and he's decided tonight he's going to be the bride. Jason Martin, welcome to the booth. Congratulations on winning here at Martinsville.
Woo, thanks, mate. Yeah, that bridesmaid dress, I threw that in the bin.
It was almost a flawless race, almost, I'll say, because yeah, you had a couple of little moments after one of those restarts. We saw a big moment of wheel spin, and it looks like it was going to go downhill for you.
Oh yeah, every restart I was worried, and yeah, I don't normally get that nervous in races these days unless it's like a road course or something. But yeah, I was getting nervous every restart, and I was worried I was going to bin it and stuff up and put it in a wall or something. So yeah, that was a pretty nervous restart every time.
No, absolutely. You got it done, and look, you did it with leading every single lap tonight, taking pole position and the fastest lap. I mean, you pretty much had an immaculate night here at Martinsville.
Oh yeah, definitely went pretty smoothly, except for that one start. Yeah, but yes, I was so nervous on them starts. They're very sketchy, so easy to get wheel spin. I thought I was going to bin it, knowing what the way all these races have been.
Yeah,
Well,
you have flashbacks to Rockingham, were you, Jace?
I sure was. I told Josh I'm not counting you in. I've got to watch this wheel spin.
Yeah.
Hamish, anything else to add here tonight?
I was going to say, it looked like a bit of a dog to drive, Jace, like with the brakes locking on cold tyres and the wheel spin. It must have been all these restarts, must have been hell to go through.
Yeah, that car was real weird for me. The braking was inconsistent, and it was so easy to lock them up, and so easy to get wheel spin, and just the amount of wheel I had to use to turn the thing. It was insane.
Yeah, it was a very odd setup. We saw a lot of people try to put a whole bunch of rear brake in to try and fix it, and then they end up looping it and piling into people. So there's probably a few cautions there, but yeah, well done on being one of the few people who didn't pit for tyres and still managed to hold on and get the win.
I was tempted to pit for tyres, but I was too scared to go back in the field and see what happened in all the other races where I wasn't able to come back and get the win. So I just stayed out and hoped for the best.
Well done. You can shake off your moniker. No longer Jace P2 Martin. Got that W.
Yeah, thanks, mate. I needed that one.
And the only car out there with 0 incident points to it as well. So very nicely done, Jason. Look, congratulations tonight on the victory. The usual thing, though, shout out and love to sponsors and, well, anybody you'd like to say hello to tonight.
Just got to thank you guys for putting on the broadcast. Everyone at ANZCAR, and there was iRacing incident where I lost the lead due to stopping under the yellow, and Dave took the lead and let me back through, so thanks for him. Well done, Josh. And well done, Kai, for third.
Absolutely, Jay. So, yeah, because that's something else I completely forgot until you mentioned it. But yeah, that was a odd little incident after that big wreck, but nicely done by Dave as well. Very sporting of him.
Yep, not many others would have done that, so I really appreciated that.
Absolutely. Look, congratulations tonight, Jace. I'm sure we'll see you back in the booth in the near future. Off to Talladega next, though, and well, that's a different kettle of fish altogether. How are you feeling for the Super Speedway?
Going into it, I expect to get wrecked like I did tonight, but I'll hope to survive again like I did tonight.
Look, good luck on the Super Speedway, mate. I'm sure we'll see you back in the booth soon.
Cheers, mate.
Jason Martinet, the winner of tonight's race in the Mitch Motorsport car, himself, Josh Micklemore, and Kai Turner rounding out the top three. Well, we are done tonight for the Fun Day. Thank you so much for joining us in the commentary booth, Hamish. Always a pleasure to have you up here, mate, and bringing some good, insightful stuff to the broadcast.
Yeah, no, well, I was happy to watch this. It was entertainment. There was a lot of action-packed race. So I'm glad to have been here to call it.
Now, are you off into the Cup car tomorrow night?
Absolutely not. I'll be racing a Cup car, but it's the Gen 4 Cup car, not the lame Cup car.
Real Cup car.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one tomorrow because we are off to the dirt. It's going to be Bristol dirt racing tomorrow night here on Performance E-streaming for the ANZCAR Cup. Make sure to head on over for that one. Same start time as tonight. Of course, if you want to keep up with all the action, hit the subscribe button just to make sure you don't miss an event. But from all of us here at Performance E-streaming, myself, Carl Wilkinson, with Mr. Hamish Gallagher, and of course, Matty Hunter chipping in a little bit and doing all the hard work on the cameras. We're going to wish you all the best tonight, and we will see you back here tomorrow for Bristol Motor Speedway. It's going to get down and dirty. We will see you there.